There is something very unique about the reading of the gospel today. It has a very unique liturgical significance, especially when the Pope is being enthroned. The gospel is this particular one. And when the Holy Father is also being buried, when our Pope dies, the same text is read at the funeral liturgy. And sometimes when we deepen so much, why this, then we see in the reading of the gospel today a summary of our vocation and a summary of the works of God in our lives. As human beings, we remain very weak. We remain very vulnerable. And our vocation is actually a treasure that is lived every day in vulnerability. But God remains strong. God remains gracious. God remains glorious in every phase of our lives. That is why the encounter between Jesus and Peter is a very unique encounter. Let us remember that they are in Galilee. Peter has gone back to Galilee to go back fishing because after the death of Jesus, he never found any meaning in his vocation. The same Peter denied Jesus 3 times in the dark court of Pilate during the trial night. But Jesus is doing something yet anew, calling Peter from Galilee once again, and he creates a fire, this fire of breakfast, where he also makes Peter to renew his faith, not once, not twice, but 3 times. That Peter, who denied Jesus 3 times, is now made to profess his faith 3 more times. Me and you, I don't know how many times we have denied Jesus, but Jesus is appearing today in this Eucharist to renew our faith, to renew our vocation, and to call us to a new beginning in this very fireplace where we celebrate the Eucharist. Looking at the readings of today, there are 4 important things that are significant for our reflection. 1, God does not give up on us. Sometimes we may be tempted to give up on our own selves. Sometimes we may be tempted to give up on other people. Sometimes we must discover that when we have failed, God has not failed. When we are stuck, God is not stuck. When we are crushed by life challenges, God is not crushed. He is still alive. And because of his unconditional love, he seeks each and every one of us, irrespective of our past, to call us to a new beginning. God does not give up on us. Let us not give up on God, whatever life brings. The second thing we learn from the readings of today is what Father Felix calls advantage of adversity. Advantage of adversity. That sometimes we want very comfortable and nice life, but God will give us the cross in what we want. And in every cross and every trial, something special will always emanate. Sometimes our enemies may bless us more than our friends. Sometimes our failures may teach us more than our successes. Sometimes our wounds may make us love more than the best of our lives. So God is calling each and every one of us to discover that the worst of our lives will always be the best of God. And for this, we need to embrace the disadvantages of our lives with faith. We need to embrace adversity with faith. That is what Paul is doing. He is standing strong in faith, not to witness to Christ in the temple, but in the court of persecution. Are we ready to stand for God when we are being persecuted? Are we ready to stand for God when life is completely something different? Let us understand there is always an advantage in every adversity of our lives. The third thing is we live to love and we love to live. Our primary vocation as people of God is to love. The love of neighbor and the love of God. And living without love is actually a lie. And that's why today the world is more wounded, because there is a lot of many things without love. And when I was deepening this, something very simple that is important for us to understand, the formula love. Love as a formula. The L of love. Listening, learning, looking, living, and leading. We cannot say we love God and we love people and we don't want to listen to them. We don't want to learn from them. We don't want to look after them. That's why Jesus is telling Peter, if you really love me, look after my sheep. If you really love me, lead my sheep. That means love comes with the responsibility and stewardship. And this is calling upon each and every one of us today to renew the fire of love. The O of love, obedience and offering. There is no love without obedience. There is no love without offering. We must learn to offer our lives. That's why Jesus is evoking a self-offering in Peter. When Peter said the third time, Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you. He offered himself to love the Lord. Let us also pray in a special way that our love may have offering and obedience. Not that we demand a lot from the people we love without obeying them. It's very easy in the family. Kata ot wanyalo bedo nango wadwaro gik mang'eny kuom jok mwadwaro ni wahero, to ok wanyal luoro gi bende ok wanyal chiwore negi. There is no love without obedience. There is no love without offering. The V of love is value and vision. Vision means if we truly love people, their tomorrow should be more important than today. If we truly love people, we must add value to their lives. And that's why Peter is offering. Jesus is talking about you will actually die on the cross. But Peter is accepting because he knows with that there will be value that is added in the life of his flock and also in a visionary way, helping them to meet and see their God. The E of love. Embrace, enlighten, encourage, and empower. This is something that is missing in our families today, in our world today. Sometimes the scandal is the people we call we love, we are secretly working for their downfall. God is calling upon each and every one of us. If we truly love, let us embrace one another. Let us enlighten. Love does not mean we are not telling somebody the truth. It means speaking the truth, encouraging one another and empowering one another. And finally, the last lesson we learned today is life without test is tasteless. Every test of our life brings taste into our lives. And God is calling upon us to look at Jesus. Jesus glorified the Father by the cross, by the trials. St. Paul is glorifying God by his persecution. And Peter, Jesus is also predicting, will also glorify the Lord by detachment and persecution. That's why Jesus is saying, do you love me more than these? What is this in the gospel today? This means everything else in our lives. And God is calling upon us to prioritize loving Him. Nyasaye luongo wa yo makende ni nyaka wahere moloyo gik moko duto, to en bende biro hero wa moloyo gik moko duto. To hera ma Nyasaye en hera mogure msalaba. Ka wahero Nyasaye to obiro fwenyo ni Nyasaye bende ok jog kodwa, kata wase jok gi ngima wawegi. Nyasaye ok jog kodwa. Ka wahero Nyasaye to gimaramo wa kawuono ema biro gwedho wa kiny. Ka wahero Nyasaye to wabiro dak e hera ma Nyasaye, ka wawuotho kanyakla kendo ka wanyiso hera e gigo duto matimore ngimawa. Ka wahero Nyasaye to ok wabiluoro tembe, nikech ngima man gi tem e ngima bende man gi tim. Tim Nyasaye biro e tembe ma wan go. The pain in our lives, the discomfort in our lives, the many failures in our life actually attract the very presence of God, especially when we offer our weakness to God. That's what Peter did constantly. He offered his weakness to Jesus, and his weakness made him a witness. Our weaknesses will make us witnesses when we offer them to God in love.